What is going on, everyone? My name is Boit, and I am back with some more Age of Mythology, the Titans action. Spawning in the top of the map, in the blue color, playing Oranos. She hasn't played in a while, but this is a game from the past. His name is ArmyCore. His opponent today, equally rusty, but equally in his prime in the past. Playing Zeus in the red color, Adhafang. The map is Marsh. This was played on patch 1.03, which is an old game. It's very, very, very old. I believe these guys played a best of three. This is the third game in that best of three. And yes, that's all I've got to say about that. So Maps Marsh is High Hunt. It's a Zeus versus Oranos. These gods were both considered S tier gods. So Oranos, Zeus, Isis, Set, I believe, was our S tier gods in 1.03. Set wasn't discovered until later in the strategy discovering cycle of Age of Titans to be an S tier god. Once we realized that shifting stance was broken, Set was like, "Yep, I'm good as well." So in this matchup, it's very difficult to say what happens because Zeus has a couple of different options. You can use Athena, go 1-1-1, put a lot of pressure on his opponent. You can go Hermes with Centaur and Hippicon, or he can go Hermes and make only a couple of Centaur and go 1-1-1. There's so many options. You can do fast 2-town center Athena play as well, especially with a back town center. It allows him to grab that one with you grab your fast 2 heroes and you can grab second town center pretty easily with Athena. Don't really need to use that ceasefire to defend if you can get up fast enough. So you do like a 4-minute 30 advance time, Jason Odysseus into second town center. Oranos, on the other hand, what can he do? On this map, likely going to see 430. There's no real reason to do anything faster than that because you know you've got Hunt, means you can grab the hunting dogs, gives yourself the economic bonus in the early game. You can grab 2-town, fast 2-town center, but it's not seen as optimal. I feel like nobody really does that, especially in this matchup. Maybe against Egyptian, but it's not that great. So I'm probably going to see that 430 from our Atlantean player, and he's going to go for probably classic Terma Murmillo play mixed in with Prometheans, looking to nail his town center timings. The thing about Oranos, which is so different from other gods, is he can just spam units for days, and it never seems like you're behind until you are. It's like if you miss your timings on grabbing town centers and advancing ages through throwing away too many units, that's basically how your opponent beats you. Well, I mean, if your opponent plays perfectly and you play perfectly, then that's not going to be the difference. But if your opponent plays perfectly and you miss your timings and just spam units, you're going to fall behind. Anyways, we do see very good hunt spawns here for our Atlantean player ArmyCore. He's grabbed his hippopotamus right next to his deer. Whenever that happens, it means there's not much walking time for our units, so our civilian citizens. So they're going to be happy about that. Adhafang, on the other hand, he's got all of these boar right in front of his deer, which he's going to be pretty excited about, and he's grabbing some Auroch. I don't see his hippopotamus. His hippos are over here. These aren't in the best place, but he can defend this pretty easily. His temple's going up pretty standard. He's only got 3 villages on wood, 3 villages on gold. This is this build order predates what Mr. created. If you have followed the development of Greek meta, then you will note that he's got 1 too many villages on gold and 1 too many villages on wood. And he's putting more villages on this. It means he's not going to advance at the 330 mark. Oh, he is going at the 330 mark. I'm totally wrong. Oh, hold on. I'm looking at the wrong person. Yeah, not going at the 330 mark, which is what Mr. said was the best. Mr. would go 5 villages food, 2 villages wood, 2 villages gold, 1 villager wood, and then the rest on food. And you can grab that Jason in the archaic age, or you can grab him in the classical age, go for 430 and grab him straight away there. Either way is fine, depending on what you want to do. If you want to put some aggression onto your opponent, grab the relics. There is an Ankh of Ra here, which is really, really good for Greek. Means he doesn't have to put too many villages onto favor in order to get the centaurs out. So that's going to be good for him. So he's going to grab that one straight off the bat. There's also Pygmalion statue, which is also great. Means his villagers stay alive basically against the shockwave. They can survive the stun for the most part. And he is going for that straight away, so he prefers to grab the villager life longevity than anything else. Storehouse going up in not really an optimal place, trying to get the use out of the gold mine and the trees as well, but I'm not sure that's really worth it. I mean, it is, but at this point, maybe not sure. To be decided. He's only got 2 villages on favor, and we do see he's going through Hermes. ArmyCore, on the other hand, Prometheus is the god of choice. He has got his hand axe, not grabbing his oh, there's his pickaxe, and he's going to be throwing up what? Where is he putting his stuff? Bringing his Oracle Scouts back to his base. Going to cast, looks like he's going to cast a Valor over here to convert his Oracle Scouts and his Citizen? No, deciding to not do that. I do like that. I think using Valor on Oracle Scouts is a little bit of a waste. Much better to get yourself like 2 Hero Terma and a Hero Murmillo, or 3 Hero Murmillo, or whatever, in order to deal with those pesky centaurs at the start. Adhafang, going to be not scouting out with this centaur straight away. Going to wait for that second centaur, maybe even centaur hallmark. You don't really want to be raiding until you have that speedy centaur upgrade, just because Shockwave can kill them off so easily, and you want to be avoiding that as much as you possibly can. We do see counter barracks number 1 is up, barracks number 1 is up for ArmyCore. ArmyCore going to be grabbing Terma and Murmillo, like we said. Going to be using that Valor once that second Murmillo is out, and he's going to be defending himself from the early attacks that Adhafang's going to do. I don't really like. I mean, I like it, but I wish Adhafang was attacking with this. This is one of those things that we found to be incredibly strong with Greek against Atlantean. It is the double hero, super fast advance with 2 centaur to smack around Atlantean. It's really difficult for him to defend against it, especially early in the game. We do see that ArmyCore is going to move out now. He has cast that Valley. He's got 1 hero citizen now, and he's deleting his Promethean offspring to get them to not slow his army down too much. If we check out the offspring, they have 5.5 speed. Versus the 5.83 speed of the Terma. So they slow them down a little bit, but Murmillo have 4.95. So you can move them around at Murmillo speed if you delete the Prometheans into Promethean offspring. That being said, they're also really useful to just scout with and harass multiple different locations. You can do a double harass. They don't survive for very long, but they can do some things. Adhafang now got that Centaur Hallmark upgrade. It's going to be moving out, attempting to find something to attack. That being said, there's not a lot of openings here. There's a really nice wall here from ArmyCore. ArmyCore's got back gold mines, so these centaur are not going to do a lot. You've got to be careful not to lose the centaur by running them into your opponent, and the Catastrophic Scout has been picked off, so no more scouting there. This Catastrophic Scout is one of those units that I think Greek players don't utilize well enough. They waste him on scouting instead of being that invincible unit. If you can use him to run around the back lines of the Terma, force your opponent to micro a little bit, always a good idea. Adhafang getting a little bit pop blocked here, needs to get those houses out, otherwise he's going to be finding himself falling a little bit behind. ArmyCore floating resources right now, needs to also build a second manor. He is chucking that one up right at the front of his base in order to protect these citizens. You can garrison them into that manor, and it's always very good. We do see ArmyCore coming in here, going to be tempted to pick off one of these villages. We do see that Pygmalions statue coming into effect there, not being able to save the villager, but being able to save more than 1 villager there, I reckon, because that reaction was a little bit slow. Don't know if I like this. Maybe if you can pick off a unit here, he is going to pick off that Murmillo and then run away. Pretty good, pretty smart. So it's kind of a trade there, 1 villager for 1 Murmillo. It's a trade you're always going to take as an opponent. Trading 1 military unit for 1 civilian unit, always worth it. Especially, I believe they train faster as well, right? What's the train speed? Build time, no build time. I cannot tell you. Wait, that's because that was the wrong one. Build time is 12 seconds versus 15 seconds of a villager. So you get more units out faster, basically, and you can build more than 1 town center. But we do see that second town center coming up for ArmyCore now. He does have a couple of idle villages, wants to get that sorted out as fast as possible. This is really fast timing here. Normally we're seeing this second town center coming up closer to the 10-minute mark rather than the 750 mark. So he's obviously stopped production of units in order to get this out so quickly. He's looking to not fight, and we do see that the Oracle Scout getting picked off here by the Centaur Polemark. He's going to be looking to run in here, but this is a trap. He's got a lot of heroed units right now. Valor has been cast. Shockwave just waiting to go down. If you just chuck it down, you can do a lot of damage right there. He's going to be able to pick off one Centaur, maybe even pick off two. Oh, that wasn't good. That was not good. He's not going to be able to pick off this. Okay, that's surprising. I thought that the Centaur Polemark ran fast enough to dodge the arrows, but unfortunately for Adhafang, was not able to react fast enough for that. Shockwave, they're brutal, being able to pick off two Centaur for free, essentially, and that's going to put Adhafang a little bit behind there. Nice mana going up right now, another mana forward on his food in order to grab those forward boar for free. Not having to worry about too much with that. And we do see that the boar getting picked off right now in order to be hunted, and we see a little bit of a raid there onto that forward gold line of Adhafang. I think at this point he should be thinking about moving on to this back gold line so he doesn't get hit from those raids too much. And we can see that this little fight coming in right now. This is pretty good. We do see medium hipcon coming up now for Adhafang. Adhafang's units are extremely strong. They're going to be attempting to pick off what they can. And Adhafang just not microing those Centaurs well enough right there. Tomy getting off a hit onto the Centaur Polemark, and he needs to keep running them around. You don't want those to fall for free. This micro is going okay. Going to pick off one of those citizens. That's always good. Picking off a citizen is basically worth picking off 3 villagers. So getting one of them is always great. We see that the hero Odysseus is getting picked off right now. He's not focus firing that very well. This micro is not incredibly good for Adhafang, but ArmyCore doing a really good job being able to fight this. Needs to get those heroes to jump onto the Centaurs though, and Adhafang going to have to retreat now. So many units in the back line though, picking off some of those straggling units from Adhafang. Never really want to fight not in a ball with Greek. Your army is, if you've ever played StarCraft 2, your army is kind of like the Protoss army. It's slow, but as a ball, it is really difficult to fight. Atlantic, on the other hand, is much better at moving around and micromanaging his army into separate different armies in order to fight. So you never want to follow him if you can. Stay in that ball and do what you can with the Greek army. Anyways, that fight looked like it kind of came out in the favor of ArmyCore. Adhafang not really using it either to accomplish anything. I mean, he picked off a villager or two, but apart from that, not accomplishing anything. Normally, what you want to try and do with your fights is if you're going to take a fight, grab a town center. If you're going to take a fight, but make some forward buildings. Do something with your economy while you're fighting, and you're going to do great. Quick little pick off of a Hippicon there. All of these straggler units that ArmyCore picks off are really, really big. All these villages getting picked off now, that's going to be pretty big as well. And we do see a nice little raid here, so it's a nice trade of villages. But as we can see, I think it's going in favor of ArmyCore. They're picking off 5 or so. If he grabs all of these, pretty much he can pretty much kill all these villages, and that's going to be a big hurt on Adhafang. Adhafang now coming into the base of ArmyCore. There is a villager right here that he can maybe pick off, but it looks like ArmyCore is going to be able to retreat that one into the map fast enough. Over here into this wood line is pretty bad, pretty attackable, but I don't think he knows about that. We do see that the hero units of ArmyCore coming into the back now going to be able to do some damage onto these Centaur Polemark. We do see that the citizens moving away now. ArmyCore moving into the base of Adhafang, just looking for some villagers moving out, looking maybe like they're trying to grab this second town center. This fight not going well for Adhafang. Adhafang needs to get out. He has managed to pick off 1 villager, but that's going to maybe come at a cost of 2 Centaur Polemark, which is not a trade you really want to take. Then the Centaur Polemark going to get out of here. 3rd town center going up for ArmyCore right now. Nice little raid here from ArmyCore, picking off a bunch of Adhafang's units. Well, by a bunch, I mean 1 Hippicon. And we do see that ArmyCore going to try and prevent this town center. Is it going to stay up? If you can cast, no, it's going to go up. Adhafang going to manage to get that one up. Needs to garrison those villages. Unfortunately, losing 1 villager right there. But getting the town center up, getting those little wins. We do see a little bit of raid coming over here. ArmyCore is going to be able to pick off another one of these Centaur Polemarks if he's lucky. Unfortunately, not lucky enough. Citizen does fall, and Adhafang gets out of there. Nice little raid again onto the villages of Adhafang. Adhafang does not need a gather from this gold mine. It's only got 600 gold. Just move on to this back one. It's nice and protected. It's going to be fine. Third town center is up now for ArmyCore. ArmyCore is chucking up some counter barracks, military barracks, and it's kind of that saying. I don't know if it's a saying or not, but it's one of those things that I use. When you grab a town center, put more military buildings down. Otherwise, that extra economy you're going to be getting is going nowhere. You're not going to be able to spam units at all. And we do see that ArmyCore is going to be trying to catch these centaur pole marks, moving out, trying to find something. Going to move in instead. Stop chasing those. Maybe pick up this villager. He's going to grab that one and then retreat. Oh, he's managed to pretty much stay alive, but 2 shots, one terminal there for 1 villager. Looks like ArmyCore is moving in to try and grab these centaurs being idle, but if they're moving, they're going to be totally fine. We do see that ArmyCore is going to be finishing up with this raid. What's going on here? He is pretty much just spamming units, attempting to get to that 145 population in order to go to that heroic age. You can go through Thea and get some of those Hesperus trees down, grab some of those dryads, jump to the mythic age, sorry, and attempt to get that mythic age going with Hecate and destroyers coming out from palaces and all that good stuff. Adhafang, on the other hand, is going to be looking to do the same thing once to get to that mythic age and start pumping out Myrmidon. Myrmidon are extremely strong units, and they're going to do a lot of damage to ArmyCore's army if you can get there. Going through Hephaestus and grabbing that cheap armory upgrade, Forge of the Olympus. Unfortunately, not picking off that citizen right there. Oh, that's so unfortunate. He's on 5 HP. He has managed to pick it off, but at what cost? That shockwave lasts for so long. It does 50 crush damage. I didn't even know that. Anyways, units are retreating now. It's going to be good for ArmyCore. ArmyCore's picked off all those centaur pole marks. That's so bad for him. And there's no way to heal these unless you go through Apollo and grab the temple healing upgrade. So every damage you do on those centaur pole marks is huge. We can see ArmyCore still looking pretty well. He's got way too much gold and he's sitting at full favor. Need to start spending some of that favor, I reckon. Does not have an armory. Adhafang also doesn't have an armory, so no one's that close to going to that heroic edge just yet. Only sitting at 68 population, Adhafang though. Adhafang, for some reason, his economy is struggling mightily at the moment. Really needs to think about getting some more, maybe even some more armory upgrades or anything really. Maybe definitely some more military buildings. Sitting on 2 stables at the 14-minute mark is not a good idea. You just produce units way too slow, which is why ArmyCore is sitting at 144 population to Adhafang's 80. He's also got way too many villages on gold. It's like one of those things as people get locked into this idea that if I put a villager onto gold, I have to leave him there. No, if you've got 1,000 gold, take all your villagers off gold, put them on wood, put them on food, and then rebuild. You don't have to stay there. It's like you've got the gold. You need to spend it. Work out what the balance is. If you screwed it up, don't just leave it screwed up and let it go even further out of sync. You see the Murmilla getting picked off there, Toma getting picked off. ArmyCore's management of his army right now, not the best. Never want to throw away units, as we talked about at the start of this game. Toma moving in now, trying to pick off those centaur pole mark. Enough Murmilla are in here right now in order to deal with this. ArmyCore, on the other hand, chucking up that armory, looks like he's attempting to head to the heroic age. Grabbing that 4th town center is always a huge deal. If you can grab the 4th town center, it means you can have even more population and even more economy. Essentially, the more town centers you have, the more economy you're allowed to have. A lot of people say you need to leave that auto queue on your villages until you have 80. But really, you need to be careful you don't over-economize. Essentially, you don't want to have 80 villages and then also 30 camels if you only have 3 town centers. But if you have 4 town centers, it's all good. It's all good. Just need to find that balance. I don't really like this fight here from ArmyCore. It's not accomplishing too much. I mean, it is keeping the units of Adhafang down, especially because he's only got 3 military buildings at the moment, and he's not even producing from this one. Thea is going down now for ArmyCore. Adhafang not that close to the heroic age himself. Does have the military academy down. He's going down more farms. Still hasn't got more economic upgrades because he's just spamming units. Might want to consider another storehouse here and another storehouse here. Too much walking time, so never that great. ArmyCore picking off another one of those centaur pole marks for free. You've got to be more careful with running these into your opponent's base, or army basically. If you can split them up, it's always a good idea, especially once you have that many. I think it's 3 centaurs pick off one villager in a special attack. Maybe I'm wrong about that. Maybe it's 4. But if you can split them up and deal multi-prong attacks, it makes it much harder for your opponent to just catch them. ArmyCore hitting that heroic age through Thea. He's going to chuck up 2 palaces. This isn't something you see quite a lot. Normally the economy isn't quite there in order to do this, but ArmyCore is hitting the heroic age a little bit late, so he's going to be throwing up 2 palaces straight away and going straight into destroyers. He also might want to consider grabbing that market and going straight to the Mythic age because his economy is so boomed. A nice little pick off right here. He's not going to be able to kill these citizens because they are heroized. Though if he did attack the low HP citizen, he might have been able to pick that one off. Going straight for that Stymphalian bird, they do get a bit of a bonus against him. Stymphalian bird's going to fall really quickly. Unfortunately, 1 centaur for 1 Stymphalian bird. That's a trade you're going to take for Adhafang, but maybe he could have got that one for free. Armory is up now for Adhafang. He's going to go through Dionysus, get access to bronze and Hydra. Very, very strong units. ArmyCore, on the other hand, is really going to be taking complete control over the gold mines in the middle of this map. There is one more gold mine on the side for Adhafang. If you can grab that, it's going to be totally fine. Market is down for ArmyCore right now. He's going to be going to that Mythic age through Hecate. Yep, he's going through Hecate, going to be grabbing Tartarian Gate and going to be putting that down into the base of Adhafang in order to deal as much damage as possible. Is auto-queuing destroyers right now. Now that you've spent all your resources on teching, it's time to start teching in a different direction. That's line upgrades and army upgrades. Irrigation has gone down for ArmyCore. That's going to give him even more food. Adhafang, on the other hand, is just trying to survive at the moment. He is sitting at 125 population, so basically full. Does want to consider maybe not fighting if you can. You need to retreat and get out of here. That is why the ceasefire is going down. Doesn't want to fight. Looking to go to the Mythic age himself. Dionysus not down before the Mythic age of ArmyCore though, so he's going to be chasing a little bit. So he needs to get to the Mythic age and then get his, what do you call it? He needs to get Forge of Olympus down with 2 more armories. So he needs to survive for another like 3 or 4 minutes before that kicks in. So ArmyCore's got a little bit of a timing window here to push in and finish off Adhafang. If he can do that, it's going to be great. If he can't, Adhafang is going to hit that spike. Potentially the better option for Adhafang, if he doesn't feel like he can catch up in tech, is to go through Hera and then use Lightning Storm to counter the Tartarian Gate and army of Adhafang. If he can do that, then he might be in a good position. So he has to decide which way he's going to go. He is going through Hephaestus though, so chucking down Temple, chucking down Market. He needs to get to 60 favor before Hephaestus comes down and survive. ArmyCore, on the other hand, getting that Hecate out. He has got fortified town centers as well as heavy infantry coming down. Maybe too many medium term. I hope he's turned those off. Don't want to build those anymore, especially because the entire army of Adhafang is medium hippicon and what do you call it? Hoplites. Tartarian Gate does go down for ArmyCore right in the middle of the base, outside of the range of these 2 town centers. Very important. You don't want that to be in the range of the town centers because then town center fire can do a lot of damage. You see the Hydra is on the Tartarian Gate, bronze is down, and this fight is going to be very interesting to see who comes out ahead. Heavy Terma are down, heavy infantry is also down. We can see that this Tartarian Gate doing really, really good damage, not fighting too many of ArmyCore's units, but fighting all of Adhafang's units, which is what you want. I thought maybe this was a little bit too forward, maybe further back would have been better, but it seems to be working for him. Odysseus is running out of hit points, and the Stymphalian bird coming in right now, and we do see on Adhafang's population sitting at only 80 out of 140, just because he doesn't have enough. He has heaps of resources in the back though. This is not great. He's not auto-queuing any units at all. He's kind of just waiting. It looks like he's trying to get save the resources for his Mythic age. Colossus is going to be popping out straight away, so maybe that's going to help, though there is a Lampade here. Lampade's going to be able to heavily counter that. Colossus turning him into a Gaia unit instead of a Zeus unit. It looks like a Plenty Vault going to be cast at the back of the base. Nice little class there. Is he going to grab that Forge of Olympus straight away? Nope, he's delaying that one. There we go. We do see it going down straight away. Needs to think about getting, he doesn't have enough resources to get out the, what do you call it? Brain's not working. The Mythic Age, Bellerophon, there we go. Not enough resources to get out Bellerophon Town Center does go down. ArmyCore moving in right now, showing his, flexing his muscles and taking away any opportunity Adhafang has to come back right now. I think Hera was probably the way to go to stay in this game, especially because that teching was a little bit further behind by Adhafang. Adhafang just looking to see if there's any way he can survive. We do see Forge of Olympus has been researched now. There we go, copper upgrades coming out straight away. He's only got 2 armories though, so we can't tech as fast as we would like. All of these units, ArmyCore knows he needs to put the pressure on right now, because the longer he waits right now, the more powerful Adhafang's units become. But ArmyCore can just throw away units. His economy is huge right now. He's got so many villages on resources. He's sitting at 180 population. Might even want to come in and grab this town center as he is doing. That's going to give him 200 population. And then he's going to send all of these heavy destroyers, 17 heavy destroyers, chuck them all onto that fortified town center, completely throwing Adhafang's chance of victory away. The medium Myrmidon are out though. There's very strong units, but it's not going to be enough. Adhafang losing that town center, losing all hope of winning this game. ArmyCore just doing way too much. That Colossus is out, whacking away at destroyers, but it looks like at 0 town centers and with no hope. It looks like Adhafang sitting at 90 of 100 population. So he's finally hit that point where his economy is supporting his population. However, it's a little bit too late. Stymphalian birds are out, village is getting picked off, and ArmyCore is just putting the stranglehold onto Adhafang. You might even want to send some of these units in here to pick off that plenty vault. Adhafang does tap out, says GG, really well played there by ArmyCore. I don't know, this game is just a matter of picking off units and hitting your timings. ArmyCore picked off more units than Adhafang did. He hit his heroic timing so much earlier than Adhafang, and then Adhafang could not tech back fast enough in order to catch up. Really well played. I hope you guys liked this game. My name is Boit. If you did, please like, comment, and subscribe. And apparently you have to hit the notification bell in order to see my stuff. So if you haven't hit that one already, please do hit that one. I'll be putting out more videos shortly. Thank you so much. Bye.